So I've been putting off the VCF vlog for too long now because I didn't get sick from VCF, but like a week and a half after VCF, when I planned on, filming this part and putting all the VCF vlog stuff together, then I get sick. But anyways, here we are, and if you're wondering why the video quality looks like this, I thought it would be really funny if I did the entire vlog on the Flip Ultra. Which, if you don't know what the Flip Ultra is, just look it up. It was very convenient though, because the form factor and just the ease of having physical buttons makes it very nice to record, stuff out and about in little short bursts and whatnot. I really wish they still had cameras in this, vertical form factor that isn't your phone, because I hate dealing with the phone. And unfortunately now, since it's been like over 2 weeks since VCF Socal, I probably won't remember every little thing perfectly, so I'm just trying to go off the best of my memory here. But there'll be a lot of footage that I shot just in the background while I'm talking, so you can just look at that, see what was there. I filmed, I think, pretty much everything that was there, so a lot of it will probably get into the video. And Goo also came with me this year, so instead of last year I didn't go alone. I also wasn't running on 2 hours of sleep this time, so overall it just kind of went better. I would say overall the show was better this year than last year, which is good. They're improving. They had a lot more space this time, so they still had the main convention like ballroom that they had last year, but they tried to cram everything into that room last year, and just a little bit out in like the lobby area right outside the room. This year they had way more space available to them, so they had the entire ballroom, they had that whole lobby area, they had a whole section down the side of a hallway where the free table was. They had a couple other booths in this other hallway thing. And I think the biggest improvement that they did this year was they were able to get a whole second room just for the consignment area. Consignments last year was kind of just shoved off to the side in this weird, like, kind of closed off section. And I guess I'll just jump right into how I felt about consignments this year. Last year, consignments felt very kind of haphazard. They didn't necessarily feel like it was super well planned out. So this year, consignments started right at 10 a.m. Last year, they kind of just started whenever they were done setting up. It really felt like they didn't have a whole lot of time to get stuff prepped ahead of time. So I think it opened at like 2:30 or something like that. It kind of like soft opened where you could go in and look at stuff at like maybe like an hour before that, but you couldn't actually buy anything until like 2:30, something like that. This year it was on a actual schedule. It felt a lot better, so I got to give them a big credit for that. Opened right at 10 a.m. The problem is, though, the room is kind of small. I mean, it's not a small room by any means, but when you have all the tables in there with all of the stuff that people are trying to sell, and when it's right at 10 a.m., everyone is trying to pile into that room, and there is basically no room at all to move around. I don't really know what else they could do at that venue to kind of free up space, to be completely honest, but that was kind of annoying. My advice to anyone attending is don't go right in at 10 a.m. because there's really not going to be enough room for you to really walk around, or if you're fine with being stuck in a room with like 50 other people for like 30 minutes while you try to like walk around, make a loop, and look at everything. Maybe 30 minutes was an exaggeration, but we were in there for at least like 20 minutes. Later in the day, though, it did free up quite a bit, although a lot of the stuff did go fairly fast, especially the stuff that was kind of cheaper, more affordable. And the only thing that I got from consignment was someone had a big box of random expansion cards. I got this Alliance AT24, just a video card, PCI. It's not really anything special. I initially thought this was an AT3D because I kind of have this weird thing with collecting these really early 3D accelerators because I find them really fascinating at how terrible most of them are. This was not a 3D accelerator. This is just a regular 2D video card, and I think it does like MPEG decoding or something. But it was $5 and it works just fine. I think it has 2 megs of VRAM or something like that, so it's fine. It's only $5, so I didn't really waste money per se. It just wasn't quite as cool as I thought it was, but yeah, it's still fine. But yeah, that's the only thing I got out of consignment was that. There was also newer stuff in consignment, which I thought was kind of weird. There was some like straight up like Core 2 Duo era stuff, which I know in my, like, to me still doesn't feel retro, but I mean a lot of that stuff is approaching like is already or is approaching like 18 years old, so I don't know, it felt kind of weird, but that stuff, some of that stuff was there. It wasn't a lot of stuff, but there was like a few, like, I think Core 2 Duo era, like, laptops and Dell systems and whatnot, which is just bizarre, but they were there, I guess. So I guess the only other thing I bought from a vendor is this complete in-box copy of Windows 7 Ultimate. I got this for $10, which is a lot cheaper than they go for on eBay. And yeah, it's just complete in the box. I've never had a copy of Windows 7 Ultimate before. I never had a physical copy of Windows 7 that was like retail. I've had a few of the OEM, like boxed copies. They don't look cool. This obviously looks cool, so this will go alongside my boxed copy of Vista Ultimate. And yeah, just another physical copy of Windows to add to the collection. I don't have that many. I am missing quite a few copies, but I didn't really need this. It's just really neat, and it was a good deal. I mean, it comes with the product key and everything. It's 7 Ultimate. If it was like Home Premium, I might have passed on it, but Ultimate, it's like, come on, it's Ultimate. I got to get the Ultimate, you know? However, I think the best part of the show in terms of getting stuff this year was the free table. The free table went way crazier this year than it did last year. I didn't really see anything of note last year. I think the only thing I can remember there was this insanely yellowed, like, 2000s Apple keyboard. That was it. That's all that I can remember from that, and I didn't grab anything off the free table. This year, the free table had a lot of cool stuff. The first thing I saw was someone just abandoned this poor Duron. It says on the back, someone wrote in, like, marker that it's a 700 megahertz Duron, and they misspelled Duron with an A, so it's Duran. But all the pins are actually in pretty good shape. As soon as I saw it on the table, and I saw the absolute atrocity that was the thermal paste job on this thing, I thought, oh, that thing is cooked. I was initially going to grab it just to, like, I don't know, make it, like, a necklace or something dumb like that, just drill a hole through it, because I thought, oh, for sure all the pins have to be, like, annihilated on the back. But no, all the pins are actually in good shape. There's only, like, one that's, like, slightly bent that I haven't fixed yet, but that'll be super easy to do. And the die actually looks okay. I mean, it's a little chipped on the edges and whatnot, which is pretty typical, unfortunately, from this time period, but it doesn't look like it's burnt or anything. All of the surface level components look fine, so I didn't really have a need for this, but it was free, so I'm not going to say no to free. Also on the free table were these CD caddies. I only have like one drive that can actually take these. I think it's SCSI, but I didn't have any caddies for it, so now I have a couple. Hopefully it works. I haven't tried it yet. There was just a huge box of these, so I grabbed a couple. Goo grabbed a couple, even though he doesn't have a drive for them. So I guess in reality I have 4 of them because I know he's never going to use them. Also really cool. This is an Atari SIO cable. I actually do have an Atari 800XL. I've been meaning to go over all of the 8-bit machines that I have at some point. I only had one of these cables before, and I have a couple devices that use SIO. It was really dirty and nasty, which I think is why someone just kind of threw it on the table. They didn't want to bother cleaning it up, but I cleaned it up because it was free. But I cleaned it up, and yeah, looks like it's in pretty good shape. Don't know if it works, but hopefully it does, because you can't beat the price of free. I keep thinking there was something else I got on the free table, but I can't recall what it might have been. So I'm just going to move on to the last and absolute best thing that was on the free table. On the free table this year was this Pentium 2 Dell Dimension XPS 2 D266. Now, don't get your hopes up quite like I did. This does not have a Pentium 2 in it. This does not have the original motherboard and everything. The case is in pretty decent shape. It's a little dirty, but it's in pretty decent shape. Like, the stickers are in good shape. It's missing the front panel bays, but I can live with that for a free case. Yeah, somebody at some point put in a Intel desktop board, socket 478 motherboard. This is an 875 chipset board, which I don't have any of those. And it only looks like it has one bad capacitor on it. All the other caps look like they're good. There's only like one bulging one. And I can easily replace that. So hopefully this thing works. It came with a, I think, 2.6 gigahertz Pentium 4. It did have the heatsink on there. I don't know what happened to the heatsink, honestly. I took it off and I think I threw it somewhere because I hate those heatsinks. They're so annoying to deal with. I genuinely do not know what happened to it. I've looked all over the room. Can't find it. Yeah, it didn't come with any RAM or video card. It came with a power supply from Powerman. But apparently it was out of an in-win case, so maybe it's okay. But it's still going to be an early 2000s power supply, so probably not going to trust it. Came with an Ethernet card at least, though. So I mean, free motherboard. This is a pretty nice motherboard. Other than the cap being bad, this should probably work just fine. The only thing though is that you can't overclock with this, even though it's an 875 board, because it's Intel. Yeah, I mean it's still a nice board. I really don't see a reason why this won't work. I'll test it out at some point when I replace this cap, and I'm pretty sure I already have a cap that I could put on here. I think it's like 1500 microfarad. I think I have a few of those left over from some other boards I've done. But yeah, the case, I'm really happy about the case. This will be really nice. It has kind of an annoying mounting system for the motherboard, but this will be nice. I can put at least a different slot 1 board in here with the Pentium 2. And I can have, you know, a roughly period correct looking Pentium 2 system just to have. Still, I can't believe someone just threw this out on the free table. I'm guessing they probably just didn't want to deal with it because missing the original board, it's missing drives and the drive bay covers. It's a Pentium 4, which I like messing around with and collecting for, but I know a lot of people, especially the people at VCF, probably don't care about Pentium 4 stuff really, so yeah, I'll take it. Now, Goo did buy some stuff. Now, he's not as into retro PC stuff as I am. He likes it, he appreciates it, but he's definitely much more like late 2000s onwards for what his interests are. But he did buy some stuff. He bought a Zalman GPU cooler, I think for 15 bucks. He bought it because he has no use for it, but he's looking for use now, so we're going to eventually find him something for it. And then I think the only other thing he bought at the show, this is like the funniest thing at the show, he found like the small form factor Dell that had 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM and a i7 7700. I think he bought it for $45, which if you look up how much a 7700 is, that's about what they go for on eBay. The 7700 is actually still a pretty decent CPU, you know, for stuff, and he has, I think, a Z170 board that he can put it in. So, because it was a whole system, he really didn't want this small form factor system. He literally just wanted the CPU. We literally took it to the free table and we just stripped it right there and just left the motherboard and the case there. So to whoever grabbed that thinking they were getting a really cool modern system for free, we're not sorry. We didn't do anything morally wrong. He paid for it at a vendor, just got what he wanted out of it and just left it on the free table. So I mean, I'm not saying that the free table should be used as just your e-waste table, but yeah, that's pretty much it for what we did at the show. I'm probably just going to put together a compilation of other stuff that I filmed while at the show, just kind of cut together because I don't really have anything else to add to it. Our shenanigans, however, were not over for the day because neither of us have been to Micro Center before. Micro Center doesn't have a lot of locations. I think they only have like 30 locations across the US, which is very annoying. I mean, in reality, we're kind of lucky that we even live within like 2 hours of a micro center. There's a lot of people that don't live anywhere near close to a micro center, so I mean, we were lucky. The only micro center in SoCal is in Tustin, which thankfully wasn't too far from Orange. To say that we were excited going to micro center would be an understatement. It's kind of always been a dream to go there at least once, and I imagine I'll be back there at least some other time. But living 2 hours from one kind of defeats the purpose when I could just buy the stuff on Amazon. It was still really cool to actually walk around in a physical store with all this stuff. Like, here's just a bunch of monitors out here. There's 3D printing stuff. I've never seen 3D printing stuff just for sale in a physical store before. Any weird adapter, connector, cable thing you need, they probably have it. Like, stuff that's probably been on the shelf for like 20 years. They still have some of that stuff. Being able to walk up to cases and see, like, yeah, here's a bunch of CPUs. I mean, I've been to Best Buy before. They usually have, like, a few CPUs in, like, the case, like a few GPUs. But being able to walk up and just see, like, yeah, that's a bunch of just Ryzen CPUs, like the latest gen Ryzen 9000 CPUs. Here's a bunch of, like, RX 6600s. They'd have a few Intel cards, albeit they're the older Alchemist cards, not the new Battle Mage cards, so I feel sorry for anyone that buys an A580 thinking it's a B580. Just looking at power supplies, heat sinks, I mean, like, just walking around, it was very busy. I don't know if it's always this busy, or if that's just a thing because it was on Saturday in the afternoon. Probably just Saturday in the afternoon is what I'm thinking. But yeah, it was still super cool to just, like, walk around, hear everyone talking and being, like, enthusiastic about PCs and whatnot. Like, kind of just overhearing conversations of, like, friends trying to, like, help their friends build and piece together their first computer. It's just something that, like, I've never gotten to experience before, and it really is something that we've kind of lost going to everything being online retailers and whatnot. Just having that kind of human connection to it all. I don't know. It was just kind of neat. Like, you couldn't walk into a Best Buy and get that kind of experience. And Micro Center really is one of the last places that still does just pure computer sales. I mean, yeah, they have other electronics, but, like, the bulk of their stuff is focused on PCs and, like, enthusiast PC stuff, gaming, and it's like, it's just so cool to actually still have a physical retail place for all that stuff. Even if it is 2 hours away from me, it still is, like, it's just good to know that it exists. And it was cool to visit at least once, and I imagine I'll probably be back at some point, but yeah, it was just really cool. I didn't buy anything there, but Goo bought a power supply, so at least he got something. And yeah, that's pretty much it for VCF. I think I went over pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Just a quick recap. Overall, I would say better than last year. Just a better use of space in general on the floor, I would say. Lots of cool stuff, just in general. I don't really know if I have any other suggestions for VCF to really, like, improve or change necessarily. I'm hoping things get even better with 2026. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy this kind of montage, clip together thing of random VCF footage, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
VCF vlog, how's it going?
We're here.
I'll make my contribution.
Alright.
Neat. Get your premium garbage. It ain't working.
Always one of them.
Oh, wow. Those are...
Hey
wait.
man, it's got
Oh,
an
these are just 3D printed plugs. How nice. Someone's just...
These like
failed
the disc
prints.
you get the back of your magazine.
Why is it empty?
I don't know.
Lights, camera, Mac.
And then more hardware we don't need. You want your nut here?
Hey Joyce, I found the predecessor to...
Oh, just added.
I don't need them.
I don't need it. It looks cool, but I don't.
It's free. You don't need it.
I don't need it.
I ain't gonna be carrying all your stuff. Lemonade. Ooh. That's neat. Wow. Wakarana. Ooh. Okay, that's actually neat.
This is a bunch of Macs.
Oh, wow. That's neat. Isn't this the one that's worth something?
No, that's the Apple IIc.
Oh, okay. That's neat. Okay.
Rack mount 386.
Neat. Is this the one that Bill Gates used to work on, or?
No, this is the Altair. This is a clone of the Altair. I mean, it functionally is the same.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Laserdisc?
Yeah.
Hey, you have one of those players.
Yeah, it kind of works. I don't need it.
Oh, that
Does it actually touch? Oh wow, that feels awful.
They were pioneers of the technology.
I need to try to figure out how to adjust the sensitivity on that because yeah, that one's way too sensitive.
I mean, someone's actually using it?
John is for sure not coming like today.
Yeah, my keyboard's better. I got one of the good ones. I mean, it's not awful. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really machine.
Oh yeah.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Ooh. Ew.
Oh. It feels like I'm pushing into leather.
Yeah.
Which is so shocking. That gets to 340 and it'll be done. Okay, and then what? Then you gotta hit stop.
They should bring back these cables, these cable ties. That's art. Okay, it's just why they're round.
Yeah, I like the micro cassette. Oh, that's beautiful.
It was boring. You missed all the fun.
Oh, yeah.
It was fine. Yeah. But it was adequate.
Oh, I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong technically.
No, you bought it, and you're giving the rest of it away.
Yes. It's not e-waste.
It's the free table.
Yes, it's the free table. You're getting the shell. I'm getting the meat. $45.
Yeah. So whoever gets this, we're not sorry.
Like
No, dude.
spice and
Dude, that's Cheez-Its.
there
It
is
smells like Cheez-Its.
there's Cheez-Its, but there's also a little bit of Chinese chicken in there. You know, Chinese stir fry. You don't smell it?
The Cheez-It stir fry. We've done it. We've reached the promised land.
We've made it.
We've made it. Wow.
So that's your dad that
You got 10 threes.
How much?
65.
Oh, that's a ripoff.
Oh, hard drives.
Hard drives. We're on our way back. We're on our way back, and we got some spoils. I got some spoils from Micro Center. I spent way too much money.
They did that. I don't think they would have did that.
Exactly.
The 91. I don't want to get on the 91. The 91 sucks.
This place is oddly pretty.
Yeah. It almost makes you want to live, well, vaguely here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be here when someone's smoking a cigarette. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh look, the snow! If you can see that, all the way over there. It's pure powder, pure powder, street powder. Oh wow, it's one of them newfangled Priuses, the ones that look nice. I do want one if I had the money for it.
Why?
The fuel economy, it looks nice. Certainly better than one of those.
What you wanna do? Wanna be hackers, cold crackers, slackers, wasting time with all the chatting yaggers. 9 to 5 chilling out.